In any case, were I to invoke logic, logic clearly dictates that the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
I am a logical man, Doctor.
Well, it'll take more than logic to get us out of this.
Logic is a little tweeting bird chirping in a meadow. Logic is a wreath of pretty flowers which smell bad.
The ears make all of the difference.
I find your arguments strewn with gaping defects in logic.
One does not thank logic, Amanda.
Logic. Logic. I'm sick to death of logic.
But it is very logical. There's that magic word again. Does your logic find this fascinating, Mr. Spock?
Our logic is to be illogical. That is our advantage. Mr. Spock, it is time. The explosive.
Very well, Captain.
Logic suggests.
Logic? My God, the man's talking about logic. We're talking about universal Armageddon.
Commence primary ignition.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast. So this is episode 3 of the Logic Blaster podcast, and we're going to be doing a little bit of a recent acquisitions video. So looking at this toy haul. So what you see on screen here is what I'm going to be showing you. I'm going to roll some video footage and walk you through these various Hot Wheels cars. There's one Matchbox car in there, and there's also 2 action figures. So pretty decent collection of stuff that we have a chance to talk about. So we'll get into that momentarily. I did want to mention one thing before we get into that. So this happened recently. I did a screenshot of 700 subscribers. So I just want to take an opportunity to thank everybody who's subscribed recently. I really can't thank you enough in terms of all the support that you're giving the channel. It's really helping me out in terms of the channel growth, and very excited for the continued expansion of my subscriber base. So it's all very exciting, and I'm guessing I might reach 800 by the end of the year. We'll see what happens, but I'm very excited for that. And speaking of subscribers, I wanted to mention that one of the channels that I follow, Skunkworks G.I. Joe Customs, he recently reached 1,000 subscribers, and I'm very excited for him, and I wanted to congratulate him, give him a little bit of a shout out. He had posted a Hot Wheels short video which blew up. I think it was like 17,000 views or something like that. So I think that partly contributed to his being able to get to 1,000. So congrats. I'm very happy for you. I've been following your channel for quite a while, and you're one of the channels that helped inspire me to start my own YouTube channel. So just thrilled that you've been able to get to 1,000, and I'm very much looking forward to what that means in terms of the future growth for your channel. So once again, Skunkworks, man, you're killing it. I think you're doing some great stuff. So, and I mentioned that he had posted a short, and for those of you who've been following my channel, you know that I post a lot of short form content, not only here on YouTube, but also on Instagram and TikTok. And I do encourage the people who aren't utilizing shorts to give it a try. You might be pleasantly surprised in terms of what it means in terms of getting more attention for your channel, more subscribers, and so I definitely encourage you to give it a try if you haven't tried it. And you don't have to change the nature of your channel just by posting shorts. You can actually snip it out, actually stuff from your existing content and turn that into shorts, or just do announcements, do them as shorts. So there are lots of things that you can actually test out, and I think you'll be impressed. Not all of them are going to blow up. I'm sure you'll have a few that just fall flat. I certainly do. Sometimes, I'll post something that I'm very pleased with, and it only gets, 50 views or something like that, which is, it's still respectable, but it's nowhere near some of the most successful ones that I have. I have my one with Mulder and Scully from the X-Files. That one's, I think, over 4,600 views now, so that'll reach 5,000 eventually because it continues to perform very well. So yeah, I've had moderate success with shorts, and I gained a lot of subscribers. Well over 100 of my subscribers are just from posting short form content. So I would recommend giving it a try and see what happens. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the stuff that you see on screen. So I'm going to go ahead and roll the footage that I shot, and this will walk you through these various things. So first up, we got this Matchbox car, and the first one up is this 1941 Cadillac Series 62 convertible coupe. So this is a reissue of an earlier car. This one was done, I believe the casting originated in 2019. So they reissued it, and I think this version looks great. Really nice details on the front of the car, you can see there. So yeah, it looks very classy. I like these cars with the open top too, so you can see the interior. So that looks awesome. So very happy. This is the only Matchbox car that I have in this particular group. So the rest of the die-cast metal cars in this video are going to be Hot Wheels. Next up we got two treasure hunts actually. So this first one is the 1958 Impala. So this is the treasure hunt from the L case, and so this car originated in 2006, and you can see the text printed on the back of the card indicates that it's a treasure hunt. And you can see there's a chrome base on this, and I like the deco on this too. This is sort of like almost like inspired by like a New Orleans kind of Mardi Gras kind of theme. So that's pretty cool. And in terms of the treasure hunt symbol, it's sort of hidden in the deco there. It's right behind that front wheel on the lower part of the fender. So it's there, but it's kind of tough to see. But it's definitely there. So yeah, you can see it. It's that circle with the flames in it. So you'll notice that on all the regular treasure hunts, and then on the super treasure hunts, they actually have the TH printed somewhere on the vehicle. So very cool looking car. I definitely like the deco on this. Generally speaking, I don't really collect a lot of these art cars, but this one was a treasure hunt, and I think it looked really cool. And as you can see on the back of there, you can see the L indicating that it's from the L case. So that's that. And then next up, we got this Morris Mini. So this is the treasure hunt from the H case. And again, this is a reissue of an earlier car, originally issued in 2014, I believe, or production date 2014. And then you can see the printed text on the back behind the car. So yeah, I kind of wish they had done like taillights on this, but overall I do like the deco on it, and so some racing deco. There's actually a scratch on the top of this, so if I had an opportunity to pick a different version of this, I would, but because these are only packed in like one per case, you don't really have that opportunity. And there you can see the treasure hunt symbol, that red circle with the flames in it right on the lower part of the door, so that indicates it's treasure hunt. So I haven't really found too many of these treasure hunt vehicles. Again, because they're packed one per case, it's kind of tough to actually find them. So it's kind of thrilling when you actually can find them. I don't believe that they're necessarily worth that much more than regular cars, but the super treasure hunts definitely are, but the regulars, it really varies depending on what the vehicle is. So next up, we got this Cruise Bruiser. So this is from the L case, and I believe this is originally issued in 2015, and sort of like a souped up station wagon, almost like a gasser, because you can see like the engine sort of protruding out of the front of that, and the front end is all like jacked up too. So very cool looking car. And you can see this is from the L case, so pretty interesting. And I got another station wagon here too. So this is the 1970 Chevelle SS wagon, another one from the L case. And I believe this was originally issued in 2009. There's no production date on the bottom of this. I have noticed, I did a little digging online to see how many times that had been reissued, and I think there's like a bunch of premium issues of that particular car. So it's nice to actually see it in the main line as well. Next up, we got this Volkswagen Baja Bug, and I was excited to find this one as well because I have the tuned version of the Baja Bug that came with the 54th anniversary set, but this version is much cooler. You know, I'm not that much of a fan of the tuned vehicles, so I was very happy to find this. They had actually just put out an entire H case at one of my local Dollar General stores, so I not only was able to pick up this, but several other cars, including the treasure hunt from the H case. So that was pretty cool. And again, I like all the detail on this. This one is quite a bit different from the original Baja Bug. It's got the roof rack sort of molded into the vehicle, so it looks pretty cool. And on the back, you can see H case is indicated here on the back. So cool version of the Bug. And then next up, we got a Porsche 935, and this is the one from the G case. So this was the first issue of this one, brand new for 2022, done in like this black and gold color scheme. So I think it looks very impressive, and I think I have another version of this, a later reissue of it, that I already reviewed on my channel. I could be mistaken about that. I had a bunch of different Porsches that I sort of reviewed recently, so they all kind of blend together at some point. And I should keep better notes in terms of what I've actually covered on the channel. But this casting is brand new for 2022, so very cool to have. Certainly fine to have more than one version of it. This black and gold version is very classy looking too, so very excited to have that. Yeah, and you can see this is from the G case. Next up, we got this 55 Chevy. So this is another one from the G case. So this was originally issued in 2006, I believe, and just very classy looking in terms of the lines on this. As you can see, there's some really nice detail on the front of the car. So you can see they did the headlights and also that logo on the front. So it looks very cool with the chrome grille and everything like that. So I'm just overall pleased with the deco on this. I think it looks very nice. So I was pretty excited to pick this up. I love all these cars from the 40s and 50s in particular. Basically, Matchbox does a lot of the ones from the 40s in particular, and so it's quite nice to actually get these sort of classic cars in my collection. So, and on the back you can see indicated what case it came from. So cool looking car. Next up, we got three. These are from the muscle car series. So here you can see this is the Copo Camaro 1969. This is from the L case, and it's a little plain looking. It's basically just the red and white color scheme, but kind of screams 1970s in terms of this look, or late 1960s. I kind of wish they had done some stuff on the front and the back of the car, but overall it looks pretty good. And again, this is from the L case. So these are all from the Muscle Mania series. Next up, we got this Dodge Charger, so also from 1969. And I believe this is a repeat for me, because I think this is the same exact casting that came in that Flames 5-pack that I reviewed a while back. But I honestly don't mind having two versions of this car, because it's an incredibly good casting, and this version of it looks amazing too. actually, like the base of it is done in sort of like this darker chrome. So I haven't seen that very often. So I think that's very cool, and sort of like a dark gray with like some gloss to it, and also a metal fleck. So it's like a metallic flake in the paint job. So looks very cool. And again, this is from the L case, so another Muscle Mania. And then one more Muscle Mania car. So this is the 1965 Mustang Fastback, and again looks very cool. Basically done in like a green and white color scheme, and yeah, not too fancy in terms of the paint, but I think it looks pretty solid just in terms of sort of accenting this casting and make it look cool. So yeah, another cool muscle car for my collection. So not bad. Yeah, didn't do too much in terms of the front and back detailing, but the main part of the paint job looks pretty good though. So, and on the back you can see again from the L case. So a lot of these ones are from the L case, G case, and then a few from the H case. So yeah, you can indicate which it's from. And then we're going to get into these Hot Wheels screen time cars. So these are all featured in either movies or TV shows. So there's a whole series of them. I'm actually feature them all in like one video because I've got quite a few of these now. Like I have the X-Jet from the X-Men movies. I got one of the James Bond cars. I got the Disney Steamboat. So there's a bunch of these that I actually have in my collection now. So I may decide to sort of feature all of them in a single video. So this is the Knight Rider kit Super Pursuit mode. So at some point they changed Kit in such a way where he could sort of deploy like spoilers and stuff like that. I don't think that it was like that in like the first season of Knight Rider, but it sort of gave the car sort of like a more souped up look to it. So this represents that Super Pursuit mode where the spoilers kind of deploy, and Kit ends up looking even more badass than he did originally. So really nice details on this car too. So looks very cool. I'd love to have just a regular version of Kit, but the Super Pursuit mode version is pretty cool. And you can see this from the G case, so that's very cool. Next up we got the Back to the Future DeLorean, and they actually don't identify as a DeLorean. I found that kind of interesting actually, that they just identify it as the Time Machine. And I don't know if they just couldn't get permission to actually use the DeLorean name or what, but I know there's been several different versions of this too. This one is marked 2021 on the base of the car, but I'm almost positive there's earlier versions of it where the casting was done differently, where different parts of it were done either in metal or in plastic. So, but super thrilled to have a version of it in my collection. Very excited to have this, and it really just has the Universal logo on the back. No markings for DeLorean. So you can see that's from the H case. And next up we got the Luke's Landspeeder. So this is labeled as X34 Landspeeder, and I was thrown to have like any kind of Hot Wheels stuff that's done for Star Wars, and most of the stuff that they do for Star Wars is usually not done in the main line. It's usually more expensive. So to find ones that were done for the main line is kind of cool. I love Luke's Landspeeder. It's very classic looking design. So that's very cool. This is from the L case. So then we got the action figure. So this is Obi-Wan Kenobi, Wandering Jedi, I guess it's called. And interesting, so he comes with two versions of Lola, which is the little droid that is Princess Leia's droid. And he also comes with a blaster. then 2 versions of the lightsaber, like one with the ignited blade, and then another one that can hang off of his belt. So I think they did a really good job with the head sculpt too. Definitely looks like Ewan McGregor. So very excited to have another version of Obi-Wan Kenobi in my collection. So that's very cool. And then on the back, you can see some of the other stuff that is available in this particular series. So you can see like there's that 332nd Ahsoka's Clone Trooper. That's one I might actually want to pick up at some point. So I'm going to keep my eyes open for that. And there's also this Mandalorian Super Commando. So that's a cool one. See, this is the last one pictured over here. So that looks excellent. So I may want to pick that up as well. So we'll see. I don't know how many of those I'm actually going to pick up. But next up we got Mantenna. So this is from the Masters of the Universe Origins line. And, I have it's kind of a modest collection of these action figures. These are sort of the reimagined version of Masters of the Universe. And so this one could almost be considered a deluxe figure. I don't think it necessarily costs more than too many other ones. So this is labeled as the Evil Horde. And you can see that head sculpt is just wild. And he has this feature with the eyes that pop out. So that's very cool. And he also has 2 sets of legs. You can see from the side view, you can see the extra set of legs in there. So very cool looking action figure. Definitely an unusual one, not only because of the extra legs, but also because of that extra feature too. So very cool looking figure, and the head sculpt is just crazy looking on this. So looks very cool. So definitely excited to have this. You can see on the bottom, you can see the 4 feet of those legs. So looks pretty awesome. And on the back of this package shows you the illustration. So a lot of these Origins figures have some really fantastic illustrations on the back of the package. So one interesting thing about Mattel's handling of a lot of their toy lines is they're actually much better in terms of the packaging style versus Hasbro. Hasbro has a tendency to put like just a lot of multiple languages of gibberish like on their packaging, and it really kind of spoils the look of the packaging. But I think Mattel's kind of killing it in terms of like just the look of these packages. And on the back you can see some of the other figures that they have. So there's like a Pigman and other versions of He-Man and Skeletor. I think these are probably the 40th anniversary ones, but I'm not really too sure. I can't tell. The pictures are kind of small, so it's kind of hard to say which versions these are. But definitely a cool looking figure. It comes with looks like a crossbow kind of accessory, so definitely very cool looking. And excited to sort of add to my collection of Masters of the Universe stuff. I don't think I'll necessarily ever have like a really huge collection of Masters of the Universe stuff, just because it gets really expensive when you try and collect all the characters. But I'm fairly happy with what I've obtained so far. So that's it for this toy haul video. So in terms of next episode of the podcast, so my plan is to actually do in 2 weeks from now. Andor will be finished up. There's 2 more episodes basically that represent the finale of the show. And so that'll all be wrapped up in time for my next episode. So essentially what I want to do is I want to cover 3 of the Disney Plus Star Wars shows, Kenobi, Andor, and Tales of the Jedi. I'd like to talk about all 3 of those and sort of give you my general thoughts on them, and sort of do some analysis. And there will be spoilers, so if you haven't watched those shows, unfortunately, you may want to avoid aspects of that podcast. So I'll give you a warning ahead of time. so I don't spoil you on anything. But if you have watched those shows and you're a Star Wars fan, you probably want to tune in for that particular episode of the podcast, because I'm going to be going over each of those shows and talking a little bit about what they did right and what they did wrong, and what those shows potentially mean for the future of Star Wars, and sort of fan reaction, and hopefully Lucasfilm is kind of listening to the fans, because they are certainly giving their feedback on each of these shows. So hopefully they're listening, and hopefully they make changes and sort of are congratulated for when they get it right, and when they mess up, they make corrections and try and do better. So hopefully they'll learn in terms of doing better stuff in the future. So yeah, I'm going to talk about those 3 shows. So that's the plan, and hopefully that episode will drop with any luck 2 weeks from now. And so that's what's happening with the podcast. Thank you all for tuning in for this particular episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.